everybody. This is my pie's tub. My papa's going to tell you how we made it.
This is dirt. This is a sealed earthen surface sealed with linseed oil and beeswax. This is usable for anything from tabletops, floors, sinks, tubs. You could make yourself a dome out of cob and you could seal it with this and it would make a very waterproof, easy to replace, easy to repair, impermeable surface. It's exceptionally heat proof in this case because it's an earthen surface. We can put boiled and hot substances right on top of this. We don't need a hot mat, it works out just fine. It's completely waterproof. We can wet it down, mop it up, and leaves absolutely no damage. And we're very excited for the potential applications for this. This particular approach with this reddish ochre coming from baked earth is what we're going to use for the ultimate finish of our floor. The ochre itself comes from pure clay pockets that we dig out of the wetland as we're digging up the clay that we use for making cob. After we sift out these pure clay pockets, we will let them completely dry. We'll roast them until they become quite clearly the right color, and then we will grind them down to be fine, adding as much water as necessary in order to obtain the paste in order to make it a paint. Keep working it, keep grinding it, add as much water as is needed. Try not to add too much, though too much water is better than not enough. You can really tell that difference well. This technique and this kind of paint can be used on any fully dried, finished cob type surface. By the way, that is a really sumptuous curve here. The nature of cob allows for fully sculpted shaped surfaces, including sinks. Wait, let's give it a shot.
Well, that is to sort the micro rocks off.
I totally get it, yeah.
It's rich. Some of them still stick because it's very sticky.
Mm-hmm. And for the ducks, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that pulls the clay to the surface. It's the stickiest stuff at the top.
You can see from the granulization that there is still sand in there.
Oh, lots of sand.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
just like a pre-mixed cob, but
Yeah.
it's a pretty nice fine sand, except for a few little micro gravel. Cuddling more gravel. Woman massages table. Dirt.
Using a wet plastic surface, buff and polish the finished paint. You'll know you're finished by the sheen it takes on. You can see it take on that sheen as you work. Be sure to choose a perfectly smooth lid and make sure that it has no labels either painted or glued on, as these can mar your finish. I know, it's so slick, eh? You can see the shine actually on the back there, which is fantastic.
You might have seen in our Exploring Alternatives video that we had white tiles here, but the kids really like to use them as a jigsaw puzzle. So I decided to opt for something a little bit more durable and less tempting. What do you think of this counter, Rory?
This
Yeah?
one? Yes, it's very good.
Thanks.
Welcome.
What's this counter made out of?
This
Bricks? Okay.
and also
This is stuff that I'm working with right here.
mud.
Mud? What else do we call it?
Top.
Yeah. Do you like cob?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Me too.
And that is called pasta.
Yeah.
And what else is it called?
What else is it called? It's an old yogurt lid.
No.
A papa wore a whole...
Good grub, man! After drying, any cracks that form can be filled in very easily just by fingertip. You can use a slightly drier mix for this, and you'll see when it's finished because the cracks will be filled in. Simply let dry as before, and then polish to a shine. Once the surface is smooth, polished, and dried, you can begin to add your oil coat. Use a hardening oil such as tongue, linseed, or walnut. The reason these oils are called hardening oils is because they harden and turn into a varnish over time. Ultimately, it's this varnish that makes the surface hard and impermeable. While this does waterproof cob, you don't want to use this on every cob surface because one of the benefits of cob is its breathability and hygroscopic nature. Here we go. Bright, it might be too bright, but the reflection is amazing. See from this angle where it's already stirred up. I'm sure you can see too.
Let's keep putting more in. This is how we did the deacon punch.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. Just
You
dose
go
on a
out and
pile
let
of
it-
linseed oil, yeah.
Just let it, she just put on a coat and then she let it soak overnight and then she did that for about a week. And it started from really cracked and full of grain to being like glass.
Yep, that is slick. Dry spot here. Wow, that reflected sheen is really amazing. Holy moly. You can see the actual reflection of the tiles. There, it's too bright, but the shape of the tiles reflected in the cob. Really amazing. That's dirt reflecting.
A little bit of dirt cleans up everything. Especially today.
It may take several days or perhaps as long as a week for each coat to dry.
This will need less than the other one.
Yeah. Fine.
Be careful about the edges too. Oh, fresh pretty.
Yes, it is.
Fresh real pretty.
Papa, are you picing it?
I am.
With what?
With, yeah, this time it's 2 parts beeswax, 6 parts oil, or 1/4 of beeswax.
Come on, let's play race. Let's play tag. No. Okay, I'm it.
Burp flare. Use that 50-50 oil and beeswax and you'll find a perfect finish. But we're going to show you next what not to do. Do not use pure beeswax. Though it seems like this might make a harder finish, it actually just makes it harder to put on. The real beauty of the hardening oil is that it hardens. Also, use a lint-free rag. Not using a lint-free rag results in lots of lint. This needs to be scraped off. It's not pretty. So you may be tempted to try this as an alternative, but I can show you it does not work out very well. Trust the experts, go with a 50-50 oil and beeswax mix, make sure that your oil is a hardening oil. That oil will turn into varnish. You don't need all of this extra beeswax and extra effort. Ultimately, even with all of these steps, the finished product is still quite nice. These scratches were made by the children while the surface was still soft. Once the hardening oil fully hardens, it becomes basically impermeable. And as you can see here, we have completely waterproofed mud.
I really love this finish. The oil and wax on top of the cob after the cob has been buffed is just so sumptuous. It has a very human and tactile feel to it. And like Bryce said, the applications are enormous. I also love the using of earth pigments. I'm planning on doing some other videos using earth pigments, including some experiments with making some healthy natural makeup out of earth pigments. But the sky really is the limit. I've done some work using it as paints for my sculptures, and I'm sure we can always think of more things we can do with some beautiful colored earths. So stay tuned.